we're going to see here on Gibraltar.
So the era of Overtalk has ended. The era of Overwatch has begun. We are getting in the game. I know Twitch chat abhors any sort of vacuum. They would prefer it if we had game after game after game, but logistics do get in the way sometimes. But either way, we are in the game. It will be C9 here on the defense first. EnVy on the attack. EnVy up 1-0 because they're coming in from winners, but looking at the C9 roster as they set up, it's going to be Debit on the Reinhardt, Sure4 on the Roadhog, Reaver on 76, Grego on the Lucio, Adam on the Mercy, and Kai going to be on the Winston.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of what you talked about earlier, Slasher, that they just don't feel super confident running a solo support like they used to. And I think Grego is that insurance that if Adam gets dived on the way he's been getting dived on by different teams tonight, that at least they have some sort of healing up. Also, the sound barrier has been super nice. I would like them to not use sound barrier to initiate on defenses. That cost them, I think, a lot of fights in the earlier LG matches. However, on offense, coming out from Team EnVyUs, which we haven't seen in about 5 hours now, Harry Hook is going to be playing the offensive Lucio, Internet Hulk on the Winston, Chips will be playing Mercy, Taimu on the offensive Genji, Tailspin on Pharah, and Coco right now is on a Roadhog.
Roadhog really making his way into the meta. Teams running Roadhog time and time again. And Roadhog's place has really come at the expense of McCree. Everyone's favorite cowboy being seen a whole lot less. Now people realize, you know what? Who needs flashbang right click when you just have hook left click?
Yeah, it's a stun and shoot.
So the offense right now not wasting any time. The defense not in the server room, in fact, here for C9. C9 being a little bit more aggressive, taking the other building instead. Both teams poking at each other, but neither team really falling as a result. Alt-wise, I'd say maybe EnVy getting a slight edge there, but very close here. As again, Roadhog looking for a pick and Tailspin, just landing the rockets in here, building his ult, getting the damage they need. EnVy's gonna get to the checkpoint. Coco, first kill of the game. Roadhog on Roadhog action, takes him out. Down goes Adam, there will be no res, and this is absolutely decisive coming out from EnVy now.
Yeah, they're crushing. There goes Kai. Grego's going to do his best to stall out just for a little bit longer. I mean, it's what he's good at on the cart. He's dancing around, so at least the cart's not moving. They might be able to reinforce this now just because of that 5 or 6 seconds that Grego bought, but they also might think better of it, give up this first point, know that their best defense is a second point defense. That's exactly what they're doing.
You know, Taimu being known for his Widow and McCree play with those two characters not really in the meta has been so good on Genji leading the offense around me.
The defense right now of C9 is able to bring it right back. Reaver and Sure4 getting in there. They were able to take out the offensive Mercy, so they're going to have to wait a little bit here before going in. But in terms of tools, the offense does have outs here. Taimu does have the Dragon Blade. The rest of his team now on the card. He's not going to go too far in. He's going to wait for them to set up. But once they're in a position to help him out, he's going to go in. However, Sure4 taking out Coco there, going to delay the entire process by at least a little bit more.
My ultimate is ready. Let's get it. My spirit.
And Sure4 also had a nice early pick on Chips, really slowed him down. So I think it was actually the smart move. They know that their first point, or actually I guess it's the second point in this map, first point for all intents and purposes, their first point defense has not been stellar. So they decided that we're going to play a little bit, we're going to try to delay, and then we're going to rock second point.
They all grouped up, they're going in. C9 though, going to counter the sound barrier of their own. And here comes Taimu right now with the Dragon Blade slicing and dicing. Will he get the pick off he's looking for? Not able to get a whole lot, really. 76 gave him a little bit of the razzle-dazzle juke. And the defense hanging in here. Reaver getting the kills he needs, was able to avoid Taimu. And because he juked Taimu, this is really going to go in C9's favor.
Yeah, this is exactly why they're running 2 supports. So Grego's up with his tanks. He can keep them both healthy because Adam got dived on really hard early on by Internet Hulk and got taken out. And now they're able to clean up the rest of the fight, Internet Hulk and Harry Hook, because those tanks are just healthier overall.
Now, Cloud9 has been able to set up pretty strong defense here in the hangar phase on the maps that we've seen them so far in the last 2 days. And if they could do that now, that'd be very much needed because EnVy really did take point A.
Well, EnVy ran out, getting right back into it. Winston leading the way. Pharah following up the Winston's initiation. This is where Tailspin not going too deep, just staying a little bit far back, knowing that Mercy is on him. Harry Hook did take out Sure4 in the middle of this, and now this is really good for EnVy. They pushed in, but then they went back, got on the members of C9 in the back line, and punished them. So going back and forth here, we do have the attack visor though coming out from Reaver. Reaver now laying in the damage over the top. Grego was able to take out Chips with that support. And once again, Reaver being the man of the hour, really getting the kills they need. Coco and Tailspin being the last 2 up. It's Adam, in fact, going to gun down Tailspin's Mercy. Do not see that every day.
That's got to feel good for Mercy, though, because Tailspin rocked at him early on in the first point with a nice rocket, so it's always good to whip out the pistol, get a little revenge there. Also charges up the ult, so you'll take it.
And Reaver's doing a very good job
charges up the ult.
trying to neutralize Tailspin.
Let's break it down.
Well, C9 now dropping the sound barrier, dropping down from elevation, really being highly aggressive here. Everyone is in, all hands on deck. Adam's staying a little bit back here, just in case C9 loses fight. He's waiting for the resurrection. Reaver right now getting in. 3 people are down, and here comes Adam. He's just gonna swoop in over the top, comes in with the resurrection, bringing up the fallen heroes. That's just sort of standard Overwatch defense right now with the Mercy staying out of the fray. Taimu, though, getting in here on the Roadhog, will take out Sure4. And the offensive Envy really not giving in here just yet, dealing with the C9 drop-in. But uh-oh, here comes Reaver yet again with the Tac Visor. Has 2 kills off it. He's getting way too much value off of this. Coco going to put an end to it with the aid of Taimu, though. Envy still getting momentum here on this point.
I mean, yet again, it is Cloud9 taking the aggressive defense, and it doesn't work out again. This is how they lost times and checkpoints to LG. They decide, they get a little bored, they initiate with their own sound barrier, and those fights end up going pretty long, and there goes the offense. They were fine playing passively and just deflecting all attacks. They decided to get aggressive on defense. Did not work out for them yet again.
And they're getting in there. Kai going to get taken out. Really going back and forth, but Debit with the Earth Shower sets up 2 kills here for the defense. Resurrection coming in, though, from Chipsogen, going to let Envy keep a lot of momentum here. They're backing up a little bit behind the Winston. Winston get threat on the shield, spacing out just a bit. Sure4, though, able to take out Coco, and C9 still with a bit of a numbers advantage.
Yeah, Envy's been able to catch Cloud9 off guard and push the cart.
Here we go, Soundbear coming out from C9. They got the pick on the Tailspin, so now they're going to go full hog, whole hog as it were, pushing them back in the spawn. But here's where C9 is not repeating mistakes. They're not going to the spawn point, they're backing out.
Yeah, but then if they're not going to go to the spawn point, why do they need to bust that sound barrier there? Like, that's now an ult that they're not going to have up, and conversely, Harry Hook's going to have his, so they're going to have a huge advantage in this next team fight.
Sound Barrier now coming in here for the offense. Envy going deep in. Tailspin about to have ultimate up. Taimu getting the double kill, makes it a triple. Tailspin with a little bit of support is going to get hooked in by Sure4. Almost dies from it as a result. But Envy getting all the kills they need. And Reaver going to die in the back. So Envy now in really good position to end this map. The defense will be able to get to that point in time to stall, but the positioning that the offense will have here will be second to none. So defense coming in, last gas. Tracer is coming out here. Tracer usually gets play on the final point, but Tailspin and Taimu not really letting anything get by them, picking up the kills that they need to pick up. Chipsogen is also in the back, ready to follow up with any form of resurrection if it's needed. Things going pretty well here for the side of Envy.
Res forced out very early. Here comes a Graviton and a last gasp kind of hope here. Chips is going to bring everyone back up as this Death Blossom comes in, takes down Short4 and Kai. Now it's just a matter of trying to stall out because I don't think the defense is going to have enough to really hold this.
Taimu getting in here. The Sound Barrier coming up for the defense. This is a good job of stalling here from C9, given how far back they were, but Taimu and Harry Hook coming in. The pressure from Envy absolutely great, and they should be able to get this. But again, C9 bought themselves about another minute that they probably shouldn't have even been able to.
Yeah, if Adam can make a huge play here, he could resurrect, but he does get taken out eventually as well. Here comes the D.Va trying to lock down for another more seconds or so. Not enough. And again, I just think that taking the fight to them just didn't work out in the hangar phase. It's what lost them there. A late sound barrier when they tried to initiate, but then pulled back on it again from Grego, cost them a lot of momentum in this last phase as well. And then Taimu did absolutely go off his Reaver.
Reaver was having a pretty effective game against Tailspin, against the offensive part in the hangar phase. But after that, they did get they got a little cocky, as you said. They overextended, and that cost them, as we've seen in other games before. Envy was able to take that team fight, go all the way through the hangar phase, and then have a lot of momentum going into that final portion. Sure4 was pretty effective early on, but in the end, it just seemed like decision-making was the reason that Envy was able to pull through more than fragging.
I agree. Reaver was having a great game when they were just holding the high ground and deflecting all the attacks into him. When they decided to give up the shuttle high ground, initiate a fight, then yeah, it looked like it was going okay for them, but they all got scattered, lost positioning, got cleaned up, lost the shuttle phase. It's been kind of a theme for them tonight. Every time they take the fight to the other team on defense, which used to be kind of something they were very good at, they've just not been able to get the fight that they want out of it. Later again, they tried it again with a sound barrier, then they didn't have it for the sound barrier coming in on them. I just don't know why they're not being as patient as they used to be on defense, and maybe it's the meta, maybe it's something. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that's something they need to change. But now they're on offense, so they don't have to be patient.
So we are rolling into the next round here. Time to beat is going to be 6:59. It is a beatable time, but C9 is going to have to roll very quickly. C9, though, is not a team you count out whenever you say that phrase. We've seen C9 get to the end, set really, really quick times, and even if they don't beat the time, usually they can threaten and make it a nail-biter at the end. So EnVy really going to have to come out with a stellar defense here if they want to hold. And it is going to be, for that defense, Taimu on the Roadhog, Tailspin on Pharah, Harry Hook on the 76, Internet Hulk on Winston, Chipsogen on the Mercy, and Coco going to round things out here on the Reinhardt.
And EnVy feels comfortable continuing to run their single support, probably because they feel like they're in the driving seat and that they are the better team. They can take a little bit more risk. So Cloud9 recognizes that. They go and they try to dive on to Chipsogen. They are so good and known for killing enemy Mercies. That's what they're going to have to do to get a better time here in Gibraltar.
Yeah, a lot of that's going to be up to Reaver, who's going to be playing the offensive. Pharah Debit, of course, will play the Reinhardt on the cart. Shore4 is going to try to hit those hooks as well. Adam is going to play Mercy, Kai on the offensive Zarya, and Grego running second support yet again is going to play Lucio.
Now, timing on the Roadhog, we know how much damage can be done. We saw Enigma play it quite well earlier, along with Shore4. I think that is probably the right pick, and that allows Harry Hook, as you talk about the flex of the support, playing DPS. That allows EnVyUs to do this type of lineup.
Yeah, he's had an amazing 76. I mean, early on when he was forced onto it in the early days of IDDQ's roster switch-ups, he looked bad at it. Obviously, he's put some hours in on it, has been playing a phenomenal 76 since.
The offensive C9 will roll right to the first point, but that is not where teams usually like trying to contest. It is going to be up here near the server room where EnVy is staking their claim, and Tailspin right now going in for Reaver, looking for the air shots, not going to land them. The defense here a little bit split here. They're taking some of the server rooms, some on the sides, more of a crossfire approach than sort of the server room approach that we tend to see as Harry Hook will take out Kai in the beginning. 2 kills here for the defense. But I'm going to note Adam here is still lurking the wings, waiting for the resurrection, and he's going to bring up every last fallen C9 hero. And we'll see now if EnVy can hang on to it. Taimu, though, making a case here in the back with the whole hog, getting the triple kill. Tailspin taking out Reaver after the res, and this hook from Taimu going to be the deal breaker.
Absolutely cleaned up there, and they're just still holding this position. Harry Hook is going to be some problem that they have to solve. They don't really have the distance damage to be able to deal with him. Reaver's going to have to try to bully him out or just concussion blast him off of this ledge, because we've seen 76s up here absolutely clean up.
I mean, Reaver is the only DPS character for Cloud9 right now. I mean, everyone considers Roadhog as the DPS replacement, but Reaver has a lot to do.
Oh man, Shore4 able to get rid of the problem with setting up Tailspin for a hook. He forces out the resurrection immediately from the EnVy side. Very good approach here coming in from C9. They're in on the left, in through the front, but Tailspin with the barrage takes out Shore4, and Harry Hook was able to get on the Adam in the back, so there will be no more resurrections coming out here for the offense. And EnVy able to handle that pretty well in the end.
Harry Hook's just absolutely cleaning up. I mean, that really early hook from Taimu does force out the early resurrection, but then it's just the distance damage that they have no answer for from Harry Hook. He's been cleaning up on this 76, doing consistent and constant damage from this ledge.
And now Cloud9 has to be aware of the time, because now that they failed the first 2 attempts to get in the first checkpoint, they have to know that they have to get this going, otherwise there'll be no chance of it.
Well, the offense is going in. Reaver was looking for the flank, wasn't able to get it. The rest of his team was coming in from the front. Resurrection coming out immediately here is Harry Hook now being just a rock in the back on the triple kill. No one is dealing with the 76. The closest is Kai, peppering in a few Zarya right clicks, but that is not going to be enough. EnVy is holding on very strongly here, and they're doing great in terms of giving themselves some extra time.
They gravitoned him for no reason. It still couldn't kill him. He was solo gravitoned, Harry Hook. He's clearly an issue that they don't have any sort of answer with. At some point, you got to start running a different composition because they've got nothing.
I mean, that's what makes it so hard for Pharah. That's why I'm always like, I can't believe Pharah has gone on so long, because the amount of hit scan that is in the game. And when you can do this type of composition where you have to deal with an enemy Pharah Mercy and then the soldier at the same time, it makes it very hard for the offensive Pharah to do what it wants.
It's just,
that's a Tailspin.
It's kind of ironic because this is how Cloud9 used to win Gibraltar, is they would get Shore4 up there where Harry Hook is and just dominate people that way.
So we see C9 taking the full server room approach, every person grouped together, moving in as a team with the Lucio speed boost. And we see EnVyUs now trying to get in on that. Tailspin was looking for potentially the Mega Barrage, wasn't able to find the opportunity. And C9 now going to try and use server room as positioning to move this forward. Here comes the Sound Bearer. They're going to be moving in. Devitt does have Earth Shadow at the ready, but here's Tailspin over the top, looking for the shots now on the Reaver. Reaver not dead yet, will go down, but not before taking out Tailspin with him. But still, look at Taimu. He was able to get to the back line and flank C9 is all that was going on. Coming in now at the whole hog over the top, and C9 just getting bullied around here on the point.
I mean, both the tanks are alive. Internet Hawk does pop his Primal Rage as Kai hooks him in so that he's not going to be able to kill 1,000 HP pool hero. Harry Hook cleans up the rest. Now Internet Hawk is just going to punch people around up top. Card starts to move backwards.
And they may have lost too many fights. There isn't a lot of time for them to get this checkpoint. Otherwise, they're going to have a perfect.
Oof. Sure4 almost taking out Time with the Death Blossom. Ends up getting hooked. Time who had 39 HP left. Hooks in Grego. Grego about to go down here, but he'll actually get away. Mercy Heal going to save him. He's coming right back in with the boop. Tailspin, though, in the back with the barrage. Gets taken out by Kai. And Envy perhaps breaking down a little bit here defensively, but the important thing for them is that they've bought themselves an incredible amount of time, and it's not over yet as Taimu getting back on the point. Harry Hook on the Tracer. Even if this is throwing good money after bad, they can afford it at this point.
Yeah, chips to the res and brings everyone up, and now he's forcing out a lot of ultimates from Cloud9 as they're trying to clean up these tanks. It is still not over. Harry Hook comes in as Tracer now, of all things, because they are just wanting to sell out this card.
Kai on the point, going to heal himself up. Sure4 getting the extra contribution. C9 finally gets this point, but only with a minute 45 left here. Envy would be able to win just by throwing themselves on the cart repeatedly.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really a good path to C9 winning here, just because mathematically they're just about out of it.
Cloud9, finally wins the fight convincingly, but it's too little, too late. I don't even think they could sit on the cart the whole way through and make it in.
That guy going in, going to get charged to it, almost to his death, will survive, takes a breather. Both teams 5v5 as the defense now flanking in from the left, flanking in from the right, and they are going to get some value off that as Taimu comes in from the right flank, gets a double kill, but Sure4 now turning right back around, C9 fighting the way out of this sticky wicket. And Harry Hook on the top getting the double kill. So this is kind of the problem here for Harry Hook is that, or for C9 is that Harry Hook has been able to find spots to flank and just take out C9 from range. Just Sure4 going to go down, and now he's going to flank everyone on the card.
I keep having to check if the kills he's getting is when he has his ultimate up, because he is absolutely destroying, getting 2 and 3 kills at a time without even using his ultimate. His hit scan accuracy has been absolutely on point.
Harry Hook looking for a little bit extra here, is going to take down 2, and that was after his ultimate had faded. And C9 going to call GG. They know they can't get there in time. And EnVyUs now 1 game away from being your Alienware monthly Melee champions for here in the month of June.
On the back of the man formerly known as Nabridgebup, who played Lucio and nothing but Lucio for about 4 months. Yeah, pretty good 76, Harry Hook. Gives them a lot of versatility.
And just like we saw Cloud9, and one of the big reasons that they have been winning was utilizing that single support and being a big proponent of that, and having Grego play all these DPS flex characters, which he is still doing. Now Envy is doing the same thing. Yep. And you could see how Harry Hook, how important it is for their support player to be able to go on 76 when needed and have good hit scan aim and to hit shots and to do damage. And it's a great example of what can happen for these teams when you have players that can do that. If your support players cannot aim and cannot play these characters, you can't do these types of comps. And if you can't run these comps, then you will generally lose as Overwatch continues to evolve at the highest levels.
Well, now we are on Lijiang Tower. This is, of course, Cloud9's pick. They are back against the wall as the 1-game advantage from coming through the winner's bracket is on the side of EnVyUs. If they win this map, they win the tournaments. They will take first place pretty much undefeated throughout the day. Their lineup to try to do so is Internet Hawk on Winston. Tailspin will be on a Tracer this time. Chips will play Mercy. Harry Hook off of DPS, has to play Lucio again. Taimu will be on the Reaper, and Coco is going to round it out as the Zarya.
All right, and taking a look here at the lineup coming out from the C9 side. It's going to be Grego here on the Lucio, Kai on the 76, Debit on the Winston, Sure4 on the Genji, Reaver on the Tracer, and Adam on the Mercy. And by the way, I think it happened a little bit earlier, and we did not notice, but big shouts to Moon for hosting a stream, of course, earlier today, and Seagull at the start of the stream. Big streamers here in the Overwatch scene supporting the competitive community, so thank you both to Moon and Seagull for helping support Overwatch esports. But here we go, things are getting underway as Coco, getting first kill of the game, is able to take out Mercy immediately. The bad day for Mercy's continues, as now really Envy with a great position here as they move in. Taimu getting the kill on the Grego, and with no Mercy, this should be Envy's point.
Well, that's pretty early decisiveness as Taimu continues his reign of terror.
Taimu has been so good with Reaper and with Genji in replacement of his Widow and McCree. I think there is no doubt that he is doing just fine in the new meta.
I mean, in the end, hit scan is hit scan, and even though Reaper is a little bit more lenient, Reaper does give you the extra level of oomph if you are able to land those pixel-perfect meat shots on the people as they run forward. Envy right now just laying it in. Taimu going in a little bit harder. Is about to have a Death Blossom up, but Debit says absolutely no to that. We'll take him out. We'll take a look here as Chip's going to be able to get the res off. He gets the res off before dying, and now Taimu will he just Death Blossom off res. He will do that immediately. But luckily or unfortunately, everyone is already dead before he does Death Blossom, so effectively kind of wasted.
Yeah, Tailspin also picking up some slack on DPS, took down Adam early in that fight, finishes off Sure4. Grego dies at the end there as well. Nothing going Cloud9's way right now, and Sure4 is on the Genji. He's going to try to turn it around. He has sword ready.
Well, look at Tailspin right now. Tailspin looks like he wants to end this push immediately here. Looking for the pulse bomb opportunity. Goes in right for the Mercy, not able to take it out. Adam escaping death this time. And now Sure4 looking to turn the tables. Dragon Blade out and ready. Slicing and dicing. Will take out Chips. Looking for a little bit more. Going in. Dragon Blade about to go away, but C9 making a decent approach here. Graviton Surge is out here for C9. They have the follow-up, and this is going to be a clean wipe for C9. And they will get their first control here of the match.
Yeah, Mercies went down for both sides there, and Reaver actually had a really nice life there on Tracer as well. So they flip it over for the first time at 10%. They have to maintain control at this point pretty much throughout.
Yeah, 2 big kills for Reaver, and Reaver needs to have a big game on Tracer.
All right, the offense here getting right back into it. Envy trying to retake control, and oh my goodness, Debit with the whole hog, almost knocking people off into the ledge. Cornering Mercy quite literally, and almost getting the kill on the Coco. Huge plays coming out from the Roadhog. And Envy getting on top of the point now, trying to keep things in their favor, but C9 fighting it out and going to push them out.
Yeah,
as Sure4 completing the triple.
As good as Taimu has played there, I think he just thinks he's a little invincible right now as he tried to Death Blossom into a Zarya who shielded both themselves and their ally. All he really did was give Zarya charge and then die, use all of his Death Blossom there. So a rough ultimate from Taimu coming out.
That gives Cloud9 opportunity to stay on the point. That gives Sure4 another sword, and Greg has sound barrier, and this is a good combo.
Graviton's coming out, but so is Sure4 now with the Dragon Blade in the back. Not targeting the support, just trying to get in on the Zarya. With the deflect on the Reaper, doesn't get quite as much value as he's looking for. In fact, while this is going on, Tailspin is able to kill Adam in the back. 3 kills here for Envy. Harry Hook now looking for the boop. Will boop Chips off, but that's a Mercy. She can just shift right back in. Meanwhile, let's talk about Tailspin wreaking havoc in the back line.
So there's some misplays from Cloud9. Cloud9 had the point, and they had the ult advantage, including having sound barrier and the Dragon Blade. And that should be almost an instant teamfight win, you would think, for the most part, and they were not able to do that. Envy takes back the point and regains ult control. Probably only 1 teamfight remaining for Cloud9.
There we go, Sound Barrier coming out here for the part of Envy. Envy trying to maintain control here. If they win this fight, they will win this round and be that much closer to winning the map. Harry Hook and Taimu getting in there. Tailspin just laying in the poke from the side. Here comes the pulse bomb from Tail. Going to stick right on top of Roadhog. Not quite on point though. but still very even between both teams. As Internet Hulk now the double kill. EnVy starting to turn it in their favor. They will do just that. They are going to take this round, and they are a mere 1 round away from winning it all.
They're just funneling Adam into bad positions. They're jumping him with Hulk, and then he tries to get out, which Adam is good at. It's the second escape that he's not being able to do because Hulk is pushing him into Taimu. They happened more than once tonight. Taimu cleans up the kill there on Adam, and yes, there was no resurrection coming out from Chips, but he was alive to heal and damage boost his team. These medic picks are absolutely brutal, and Adam is being focused so hard tonight.
Okay, I guess. Got this big mission coming up. Oh, I get it.
So we're going to see what comes out for Cloud9. They have to win this round or it's the end of their tournament life. Reaver does pick up onto the 76, which has been one of his best heroes tonight. Debit is on the Roadhog. Short 4 as trying to do something about Internet Hulk, who's been a problem on his Reaver.
Well, the fight getting in progress here right away. Internet Hulk really getting the fray of things. Everyone getting the fray of things. All hands on deck. Sure4, though, coming out here with the double kill, taking up both Tailspin and Internet Hulk, getting into the fray of things, looking for the other Reaper kill. Taimu, though, getting the Zarya shield, and he's able to take out Sure4. This is where Taimu now open the Reap, open to go in and take out whatever he wants. Has the double kill and already almost has a Death Blossom. But Reaver going to put an end to that in short order in a very even fight between both teams.
Well, that's how you protect Adam. You kill Internet Hulk and Tailspin, who've been the bane of his existence.
And that's exactly what Cloud9 needed. They needed Sure4 to come out with some big kills. He gets 2 to start off the bat. He already has Death Blossom now. He loses the one-on-one versus Taimu, but in the end, they were still able to take that. And big advantage for Cloud9 to start off the second round.
Graviton is going to come out here from side EnVy, but I'm not sure they have a follow-up, and now Sure4 being a little bit more aggressive. Going to wait a second for the Sound Bearer, and here comes the Death Blossom coming in. Takes out Harry Hook, takes out Chips. Both supports RIP. And Sure4 can just rest easy, saying worth.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Short 4 has been the highlight of this match so far for them. Debit's going to be looking for hooks over this wall, as I'm sure anyone who's played this map knows that that is what Roadhog does on this map. Short 4 has been great so far. Adam has been completely safe because he's killed all the threats.
And at the same time, Taimu is the threat on EnVyUs' side. He has been so good himself on Reaper, and Cloud9 always has to be aware of where he is at all times.
Soundbearer now coming in from C9. C9 looking to keep this in their favor. They have 50% charge here so far. Taimu going down early in the fight. And now taking a look here. Chips does have a resurrection up. Graviton is out. Graviton whole hog combos Internet Hulk going to melt the side of C9, but the res coming up from both sides. The fight is renewed. Taimu coming in though with the triple Death Blossom, going to take out 3. And EnVy now with a push that they have not had all round long, going to retake the map.
Really smart switch there by Hulk, who had gotten nothing done on his Winston early, as Short 4 was just chunking him down. A switch onto the Roadhog there, who's been so good in the current meta, and then the combo that you rarely see but does so much damage. Graviton into whole hog, just wrecked that team. Time with the follow-up too.
Here comes C9. Oh no! The boop from Harry Hook ruins that push for C9. What an MVP boop. 2 people off the ledge. A beautiful team fight from EnVy, and now EnVy just getting that much closer to winning this round and winning the match.
Well, little love to Zarya there too, as she gave him allied shield so that he could go in with that super aggressive blast off the edge.
He gets instant sound barrier. He's able to up the percentage up another 20-30%, and that's a big deal for EnVy to only 50% more of winning the championship.
So Taimu right now, look at this flank from him. They do not see him in the back. He's going to get right in on the Reaver. Reaver has things in his sights, but can he see why Taimu wants to rip his face off with these shotguns? I'll say this though, while that was happening, Sure4 was able to get in the fight, got the triple kill. So Taimu's flank, good idea behind it, not quite working out as much for EnVy here just yet, as Sure4 laying in the damage. Tailspin doing the same on 76, a true brawl right now on top of the payload. T9 going to take that right back, and now this could be any team's game. Both teams going to be tied at 72%, and EnVy has only about maybe a push and a half left to turn this back in their favor.
Yeah, Kai with a nice Graviton there towards the end, and the follow-up was able to get it. And even though they had that sound barrier up from Harry's earlier shenanigans, they were just able to sustain through that fight with Cloud9, and now they're just absolutely wrecking on the bridge as Debit comes in early, takes down Hulk.
They're coming right back in, and EnVyUs not to be deterred. And take a look at Coco, by the way, glowing like a Christmas tree. Fully charged up Zarya right now in the house, and Envy gonna use his advantage. They're moving forward, but Surefour says absolutely not. Has the double kill Death Blossom, but doesn't matter. Coco's still alive, gets the double melt. But in the end, Envy not able to touch the point in time. They just waited a little bit too long to do that push. We're going to round number 3 as C9 fighting to stay alive.
Yeah, Cloud9 stays at the skin of their teeth.
And I think they definitely realized that their best way to protect Adam was to kill everyone. I mean, that's exactly what Surefour did. They totally set the tone early in that fight by taking down Hulk, who's been doing nothing but seeing Adam and jumping Adam, and by putting him on the Reaper, he's been able to negate that threat.
And Coco with a big game. He is playing great throughout this series. Even though they didn't win that round, he's putting Envy into position to take this one.
My ultimate is charging.
Well, we've seen Tailspin on this map on his Pharah. He's going to reprise that role, see what he can get done.
Both teams getting onto the point very quickly. EnVyUs perhaps a little bit quicker. They do have positioning here on C9. C9 is going to have to push into Envy rather than vice versa. And this is important. Getting good positioning here on the point really can pay off. Taimu, though, going to run into Reaver. Who's going to get the better of each other there? Both going to fire a little bit and back off. This is tense. Both teams looking for the first pick. Roadhog going in for the hook, but he's going to get punished. Internet Hulk on the kill. And Taimu right now really considering whether or not he wants to flank.
My ultimate is charging.
Well, I mean, grabbing the point, especially on this stage, is so absolutely crucial on the first point, especially because they're going to be able to stall this out forever. It's one of the harder King of the Hill maps to flip over to your side. You need to completely wipe out the other team. It's such a large area to try to control.
Coco is fully charged up, ready to melt faces off. Has to be careful a little bit against Surefour. Chips will go down early in this fight, and here comes the sound barrier from C9. C9, after getting some vital picks, they want to win this right now. They already have the Mercy pick. There will be no res here for Envy, and they should be able to turn this in their favor as Reaver and Surefour going off. Look at this delay, though, by Lucio on top of the point. Harry Hook buying a lot of valuable time.
So EnVyUs actually overextends a little bit too far there.
My ultimate is ready. Let's get it.
Well, Adam actually got a pistol kill there towards the end, too, which is going to give him a huge resurrection advantage as he has it up. They do have the ultimate advantage, does Cloud9.
C9 does have the advantage. Envy, though, does not care. Leaping right into the fray. Taimu took out Devitt to start this out. We'll take a look here at Adam. Is Adam ready for the res? He's hiding in the corner, looking for the double res. Will he get it? Flies in, will resurrect. Let's take a look at Tailspin now. He's over the top, got a double kill. Reaver says enough to that, takes him out instead. Coco still on the point, 50% charge. This is where Zarya can do a lot of damage. He's looking to melt down Adam. Will melt Adam, melts Reaver as well.
My ultimate is charging.
And this is so tense between the two teams, but Envy right now just a little bit ahead.
My ultimate is charging.
Not a whole lot of tools to be able to take this back from Cloud9 either. I mean, Reaver has his attack visor, but this is what we've seen before, that they're going to be very smart and just stay out of attack visor range. Tailspin and Chips are up top. If that visor comes in from the lower level, they're just going to bail.
Taimu off the speed boost, moving in with the Death Blossom. Really good retreat coming in, but can they retreat from Tailspin's barrage? The combo teamwork coming in from Taimu and Tailspin, really turning things in their favor. But let's talk about the resurrection coming in from Adam. The attack visor from Reaver. T9 doing their best to fight this back. Mostly even trades across the way. But the important thing here for Envy is that they still control the point as all this happens.
Yeah, Envy's okay with the even trade that allows the timer to tick down. But again, maybe they overextended and they have let Cloud9 retake the point. I do like the idea, of course, of making the clock go the percentage as high as possible, but they're giving Cloud9 an opportunity to get back in this game.
Grego needs to be careful. He needs to stay alive and stay with his sound barrier because they should know that the timing's about ready for a Graviton.
Surefour right now going in. Tailspin starting off the fight with a pickoff. And even though there's not a whole lot of ults up here for the enemy side, they're able to weather the storm from the sound barrier. And Tailspin right now takes out Surefour, taking to the sky, looking for more. Time with the follow-up. Adam, big res coming in. C9 gonna have a second chance here at this fight. But what a mid-air shot on the Grego from Tailspin. Both teams getting into it. Surefour now with the Death Blossom gets taken out by Tailspin immediately. Taimu saying, Death Blossom, this is how you Death Blossom. Gets the double kill. And Envy now, if they retake this, they very might well win the game. C9 will have one last chance to get on it, but it's going to be a poor chance.
EnVyUs has sound barrier, EnVyUs has res, Tailspin has barrage. It is going to be very difficult for EnVyUs to get anything done. They have to go in right now.
They are going in Tailspin now with the barrage over the top. Takes out Devitt. Envy is feeling if they win this fight, they will win it all. C9, their tournament life on the line, rushing in. But you must defeat my Taimu to stand a chance. He's getting all sorts of damage right now in the back line. Has Reaver in his sights. Reaver having to run away will give him a little bit of a juke. Both teams on top of the point. It is overtime here. C9 has to stay on it no matter what. Tailspin over the top, landing the triple kill. And is this going to be it? Will Envy have stopped C9's reign of terror? Surefour with the Death Blossom. It is a last gasp maneuver. He's going to go down. Surefour goes down. And now this very well might be GG. Can they force overtime? Reaver on the way. The Graviton going to stop them in their tracks. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a new monthly Melee champion, and it is EnVyUs.
Great stuff from EnVyUs. You know, this is kind of what we thought going in would happen, and EnVyUs really did look like the better team throughout the series, throughout the last series, and I think they even looked more impressive here than they were before. I think they were giving Cloud9 the opportunity to get back into these games with maybe some misplays and overextensions at times. But clearly, Envy, I think, is the best team in North America.
All right, 1 second. I'm going to recall you back. Apparently, the magic of Skype saying we have reached our 4-hour limit for a group video call. So I'm just going to recall you guys so we can say our final words and shout-outs. But huge congrats to Team EnVyUs. And 1 second while we get Slasher and Hex back on the line. I didn't even know that was a thing until I looked back. I was like, wait a second, what happened to the cameras? And it's going to mess up the cameras either way.
Yeah, I'm sure.
This is just my life right now, apparently. But truly a great showing by Envy. They came in, did everything they needed to do. And C9, though they played admirably, they are taken out 3-0 in the grand final.
It's what we expected to happen here tonight. EnVyUs is looking every bit as the best team in the world right now, and they've just got everything going for them. They've got versatility. They've got, you know, if you need to play a Pharah in this meta, of course, Tailspin has been a dominant Pharah even before the Widow patches came out. So just an amazing showing from EnVyUs. Cloud9 continues to look a little shakier because I would have expected Cloud9 to beat the teams on the way back to the winner's bracket a lot more decisively than they did. So, of course, big props to LG and Liquid for making things a lot closer than I thought they'd be. But right now, and it's kind of what we said going into it, it's EnVyUs and then kind of everybody else.
EnVyUs has a very deep map pool. They're able to bring out a lot of different things. I also think that this current meta does suit them. Taimu has had a very good transition from his main hit scan characters to Genji, who's I think he's played very well on offense for them on the maps he's needed to. He's made Reaper work in a lot of situations. I mean, Surefour had, I think, more of the big moments today on Reaper, but even in the one-on-ones in the two series that they played against each other, Taimu has had the upper hand, I think, for the most part. So he's played really well, and Tailspin is incredible, in incredible form right now. Definitely top 3 Pharah in the world for that team.
Easily.
Alrighty, guys, so that is going to bring us to the end of our stream here tonight. Hex, Slasher, as always, it's been a pleasure to cast with you. You guys have a final shout-out, sell-outs, anything you want to say before we take off here for tonight?
My shameless self-promotion will be brief. I am at Hexagrams on Twitter, on twitch.tv/hexagrams.
Onog and Josh OG both coming up this weekend with the big money on the line for each. So I think we'll have teams, maybe we'll have to see if they were holding anything back this weekend in terms of the different lineups. And they're going to be screwing more and playing more. And I think it will be a lot more on the line for everyone to see. Not quite sure if I agree with you, Haxton, best team in the world. We'll see what Europe has to say about that.
Alrighty, guys. Well, for me, my final shout out, usually I have a longer spiel, but you can follow me Twitter at TempoZP. I will not flood you with tweets. I'm pretty terrible at tweeting. Check me out there. I also stream Twitch ZP_TV. But once again, thank you to all of you guys for watching here tonight. Thank you to our players. And thank you, of course, to our sponsors for putting this on. Alienware for sponsoring the tournament. Curse for organizing it. Big shout outs all around. But that will do it for us here tonight. And we'll see you both on the weekend for the tournaments and next month for the next monthly Melee. Until next time, see you guys then.